Hello and welcome to an overview of Rescue Task Force gear and PPE. OAKWAY, or MABAS 3202, is comprised of 11 township and city full-time career fire departments. Each year, one OAKWAY Fire Department takes the lead to organize, design, and deploy a mass casualty incident training event. The 2023 event is scheduled for September 22nd, 2023, and is being coordinated, planned, and designed by the Waterford Regional Fire Department. In preparation for this event, multiple videos and other training resources have been made available to all OAKWAY Fire Departments and related emergency services. We will continue to post training videos and information on our YouTube channel at OAKWAY Training. This presentation is hosted by Jeff Lassers from the West Bloomfield Township Fire Department. He is joined by Rick Morris of the Waterford Regional Fire Department. During this video, Rick will provide an overview of the Rescue Task Force gear and personal protective equipment. All right, Rick, lead us off by letting everybody know who you are, what you do, and where you do it.
My name is Rick Morris, firefighter paramedic with Waterford Regional Fire. Been here for 10 years now, coming up on our 10th year anniversary, April.
Right on.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so what are you here to talk about?
We are here to talk about the RTF bags and the PPE that we carry for it.
Cool. Well, give us an overview of the RTF PPE. What are the Rescue Task Force personal protective equipment items that we carry? What are they?
So we carry ballistic helmets, we carry ballistic vests. Every truck has their own eye protection. Every individual has issued their own eye protection as well too. Hand protection, and you want to wear your extrication gloves, go right on ahead. You want to wear your medical kit gloves, that's fine as well too. But all that stuff is there to keep us safe while we're making entry into these warm zones.
Okay, so fair enough. You got a helmet, you got a vest, you got ear, hand, and eye pro. Makes total sense. Now, every different department might carry different makes, models. We'll get into that and all those different things. But in general, what are the capabilities and limitations of these vest, helmets, hand, and ear, and eye pro?
Speaking specifically for our gear here at Waterford, our helmets and vests are rated ballistically at the military standard. So our vests and helmets can both withstand one shot from an armor-piercing 30-06.
Okay, and is that true at every OAKWAY 3202 fire department?
I would like to say yes, but probably not. It's going to be whatever they ordered and what they have, yeah.
Now, I work in West Bloomfield, and we have a very similar setup of our rigs as yours, and so I do know that we have it there, but there's 11 different fire departments in OAKWAY, and then we have all of our other 3201 fire departments, which some of them are full-time professional fire departments, some of them paid on call, combination, volunteer, and then we have EMS. Are they all wearing this type of gear, or is it just like us where it's varied from department to department?
Everything's going to be different. It's a mixed bag of everything because you have to go out and pick what is best for you and your department. So there may be some departments that stuck with the original kit that was sent to us, the super heavy bread-sized steel plate carrier, where they feel like that's all they need, and that's fine. That's, you got to make that decision for yourself. But even in 3202, going to different trainings, there's a lot of different style vests and helmets out there, but everybody has something.
Yeah, and it might all be the same qualifications for ballistics, and they all may be completely different looking in a lot of ways because it's different make and model.
Exactly.
Okay, and so the standards that drive our RTF PPE, where do they come from? Is there an NFPA standard?
Yeah, so it's going to be NFPA 3000 that talks about that as well too.
So NFPA 3000 is really the guidance that the National Fire thought is like, here's what we think. But not every community has NFPA as a mandatory requirement. So it really is a guideline.
All voluntary for everybody.
Right. So there's no expectation that these NFPA standards are actually met everywhere. Some of them can be written into OSHA and even like a MyOSHA even. But we don't really have that here. But we do have a lot of departments that are buying some really nice gear that is keeping their personnel safe. The other one I think is important to touch on here is that the other thing that drives the use of our PPE is our department SOGs and SOPs. So
absolutely, yeah.
Whatever it says, you should follow.
Yep.
All right. We put on all that heavy gear, which is protective, but we also carry some other stuff here. What are the RTF bags and the related gear? What are we using it for?
All the RTF bags are basically advanced but minimalistic triage bags, right? So we have triage tape in it. We have markers in it to mark doors that we've gone through and checked rooms, but we also carry tourniquets, Israeli bandages, quick clot, things like that, so we can start treating patients inside of a room.
So it's really developed for those life-saving interventions that I might see in an active assailant or many, many injuries.
Yeah, super basic stuff too. So our MFRs, our EMTs, and our paramedics, we're not doing anything crazy, nothing super advanced. We're just finding a hole, plugging it, wrapping it, and moving on to the next room.
And if there is something in there, in that bag, beyond my scope, I wouldn't do it anyway.
Exactly.
Okay. And so who's carrying this gear? I know pretty much Oakland County Fire Departments, 3201 and 3202 are carrying this bag, but are they all stocked exactly the same?
No. It would be cool if they were all mirrored the same, but again, you have to tailor it to your department. So whatever is best suited for you and the people on the road for your department. But you're going to find a lot of the similar equipment in there. It just might not be the same quantity, the same brand or anything like that. So
there's I wouldn't say a standard, but a guideline came out when all these got purchased a couple of years ago and everybody got on the same page. And I'm willing to bet that most of the inventories, like you said, are pretty close, give or take a tourniquet, give or take a high fin or a chest dart or something like that. So I don't think we're going to find any surprises in any of them.
No.
But we're definitely not going to find it exact.
No.
So what about private EMS and law enforcement? Are they carrying similar or the same type of equipment for these types of events?
So I know law enforcement locally, they carry something similar. It's just a scaled down version.
What about private EMS?
So a couple of units may carry them locally. It just depends on where they're at and if they're coming to your scene.
Yeah, so there's like 6 or 7 different private EMS agencies that interact within and around Oakland County. Yeah. I do know they've purchased some, but they certainly aren't stocked on all of their ambulances. It's a lot of ambulances.
Yeah, but this is a big scale scene and we got to have a lot of equipment.
Okay, so let's get into it. What equipment is with this bag? You got stuff on the outside and the inside. Let's start with the outside of the bag. What's on yours? And again, it's not all the same everywhere, but it's pretty close. So what do you got on the outside of these things?
All right, so on the outside of our bag, we have 6 combat application tourniquets. Also on the outside of our bags, you're going to see the different triage tapes. So you'll see the green, yellow, red, and then the black and white striped triage tags.
Cool. And then the inside of the bag, I'm guessing, is where a lot of the meat and potatoes of the actual treatment life-saving intervention tools are.
Yeah, that's where you're going to find the different kinds of compressed gauze, the high-fin chest seals, our trauma dressings, our quick clots, the Israeli bandages. You'll see the chemical light sticks, a couple of seatbelt cutters in there as well, too, scissors, tape.
Yeah, I've gone through a lot of RTF bags doing this training for a while now, and that's pretty much it. Once in a while, you'll find an extra thing. Like somebody found a cool tool they threw in there.
Yeah, again, it's all going to be department specific and what the crew feels like. But the biggest thing is make sure you go through and you check all your stuff.
Yeah, right. Check your gear every day. Make sure it's there. Things go expired, which, in your typical bandage, it doesn't bother me that much. But like when you get into these quick clots and things like that, that is chemicals that could degrade over time and you're not getting the best outcome out of that tool.
Right, exactly.
The last thing I want to touch on here is when you run out of gear and you run out of supplies, the idea is you grab what you can and you get out.
Yeah.
That's not as easy with just your hands. So I always bring a mega mover with me, every RTF bag.
Yeah, absolutely. All of our kits have mega movers as well, too. So
yeah, and webbing and all sorts of things. You can use a lot of them. And in West Bloomfield, we've tried out a lot of different tools that grab people. Yeah. And you just take them and we find all sorts of things and find something that works and practice it.
And that's with us, too. We've found that the mega movers work best for us, for our department, because you're going in with a small package.
Yeah.
And
everybody's used it 1,000 times. You lay it out.
Rocket science.
Right. All right. So as we close out here, what advice do you have for these departments? 3201, 3202, all the other O2s and 3s and 4s carrying RTF, PP, and equipment.
First things first is find something that fits you and your department, right? Make sure that all of your personnel are well trained in it, and then make sure that they're going through the bags. They're checking everything. You're checking your dates. You're checking all of your expirations. And then also train with it too. Make sure you're constantly training with it and getting up to date on your movements and being familiar with all your equipment. So then when it does come time to use it, you're not scatterbrained and searching for everything.
Great advice. Thank you for your time today.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it.